if you ask someone how many calories they eat in a day, they'll never say more 2,500 or more. They'll like they'll do that thing in their head. Oh, we're supposed to eat 2,000, right? That's what they told us. I don't know, 23, 2,400. You eat 4,600 calories a day, sir. like when you start adding it up. But
yeah,
this is obvious. But like fat is the most concentrated of things per gram calorically, right? Like it's the most concentrated energy that we can get our hands on, that our bodies can process. Fat. So people that smear butter on toast and think nothing of it, like you just added like a whole soda's worth of calories with one swipe of that like butter knife. Or if you're and seeds and nuts are of course incredibly, that's their purpose. Like a seed and a nut, it's like let's concentrate as much like energy here because we're going to create a whole goddamn plant out of this tiny little thing, right? And you're just like, I can eat them by the handful.
Kyle nailed it. I used to have George Foreman chicken, mixed vegetables, and a baked potato. This would be my meal. Now, so far, I haven't said anything too horrible. Baked potato is really satiating. So if you're trying to stay in your calorie goals, it's not the lowest calorie thing, but as far as like filling you up and curing your hunger, baked potato kills it. And then I would put a pat of butter on the vegetables, a pat of butter on each side of the potato. It's glorious. It tastes great. But I didn't realize those 3 pads of butter were about equivalent to the rest of the meal combined in terms of calories.
I had no idea.
You cut out 3 pads of butter and you cut your calories in half. That butter wasn't satiating you. It wasn't preventing you from being hungry at midnight. All it did was make your food taste better.
2 milk, 2 sugar in a coffee, and have 2 coffees a day. 2 cream, 2 sugar, and 2 coffees will fuck your shit up. Each one of those is almost a Big Mac in terms of like calories, fat content. God. Yeah. Literally, like if you get a 2 cream, 2 sugar at any coffee place, like a Dunkin' Donuts and a large coffee, and you have 2 coffees, you're fucking your whole day up. You fucked up the whole day. You threw it away on coffees. And I got to say this, you want to be awake. I love coffee. If you want to be awake, I can't say this enough. Like as a person who is very fat and lost a whole bunch, those are the little decisions. Exactly what he said. The butter is such a big decision and it's a waste. Having 2 creams, 2 sugars in your coffee, drink it black. Literally drink it black. And changing to black coffee is like, I love black coffee now. I enjoy black coffee. Or what you said, you put a little bit of almond cream in there, right?
Almond cream and stevia.
But you're an active person, right?
I do my best.
But you do things, right?
Yeah, I do things.
Like, do you work out?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, people that listen, like, you know, he does put a cream in his coffee, but, like, he also is active. Like, if you're not being active, like, when I first started the boxing thing, like, I started the diet first. I started counting calories first. I cut the things that didn't need to exist. And when I started putting it to my fitness pal, like a fucking idiot from the past, I learned that I tripled down on my fuck ups. And I know there's people who are fat at heart motherfuckers just like me listening. The tripling down on the fuck up is when it was like, sometimes people are like, let's get a hot dog. Let's have a treat today. I was like, cool. So I would go and I would get a hot dog and a hamburger. And the French fries, I would turn to a poutine or a chili cheese fries. So it was a triple fuck up. And then I would be like, well, since I fucked up today, I want something sweet. Ice cream. And then I get home, I get high, and I'm like, crack open the gummies. And I snack on some gummies. This whole day, I've realized, is exactly what Kyle was talking about, a 4,500 calorie day at least. I've had like 3,000 grams of carbs, and I didn't do jack shit. I didn't go for a walk. I didn't go to the gym. And as a fat dude, it's so funny. If you're a dude and you're fat, you can get the results quickly if you count your calories and you go and just fucking walk. You know, honestly,
the thing I want to remind, like usually when you're good, and I bet you'll agree with this, Harley, you're not very, very good. Like, so your targets, you don't want to exceed 2,500, for example, right? Now you're at 2,400. That's a good day. That's a win. You're in a deficit. You're going to trend in the right direction. You are one fucking Nature's Valley granola bar away from disaster. You make that decision on a daily basis. You are one coffee with real cream and sugar away from being on the wrong side of your, caloric goal. And just don't fuck up. Don't have that one last thing.
I've fucked up and I've skipped a meal the next day, or I've altered the meal to an extent. Like it was like my mom's 70th birthday, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be a fucking weirdo. So I just really ate small on the way, and then at dinner, I did dinner. I enjoyed it. I wasn't like, oh, I don't know. I fully did it. And then the next day, I also kind of picked up the pieces from the fuck up. Sometimes, like when a fuck up happens, I'm like, okay, this will be like a 3-day journey. This you still want to live, right?
The term that I use, the phrasing of it is like, you don't let one loss turn you into a loser, right? Every fucking basketball champion in the world lost 15 games that year, roughly. And like, you can lose. You can have a day in which you gained weight. That doesn't mean your whole trend is going in the wrong direction. You can still be a winner even if you lost a game.
And
I was going to ask you what the relevance of weighing the nuts was. What exactly did you mean? Do they weigh a lot more than you realize or something?
No, it's like know how many you're going to eat. How many grams of nuts
you only
today?
eat 70 grams of nuts or whatever.
The impact. Yeah, I used to think
I didn't know they were high.
70 grams would be a lot of nuts.
Dude, they're so high in fat and such high calorie, and you can eat I could eat a whole thing of fucking peanuts. Peanuts, the worst ones. And they're not even a nut. That's a legume.
I would take like a bowl of nuts to bed and eat while I watch TV, not realizing that's like
900 calories.
100 calories or something outrageous.
And like a crazy amount of fat. And a crazy
that's why they're so filling. Because I've always been told that one way to come back on food is eat a small handful of nuts, like 20 minutes before you eat some peanuts or some cashews or something, and then it'll be
drink
really
water.
full.
For the fatties listening and hear that, I'd say like drink water. But you look like a guy that's
never going to be fat.
Yes.
I don't struggle with it. I've already lost weight since last time I was on the podcast, and I just went to one soda a day and I lost weight.
Enjoy your Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper in my face.
Yeah.
Sorry,
guys. You guys ever had hot Dr. Pepper?
No.
Barbecue water?
Like hot Dr. Pepper. Hot Dr. Pepper in the 50s and 60s was apparently a seasonal beverage. The way that
is this a spicy Dr. Pepper
or like
warm
hot, like
all Dr. Pepper is spicy. If you get my drift, you just warm it up and you serve it in a mug. Dr. Pepper.
Wow.
And it's weird. I read that on Reddit the other day, and I was like, yeah, I've seen that once ever in media, and it was from a Brendan Fraser movie called Blast from the Past, where he's been in the bomb shelter his whole life because they thought that Cold War nukes had went off. And he like pops up in the 90s and like,
but he's from the 50s.
But I remember his dad was drinking that hot Dr. Pepper back then, and
that's fascinating. I got to look into hot Dr. Pepper.
I want a hot.
I hate it at room temperature, but I'd try it hot.
Yeah,
I don't.
I love Dr. Pepper. I consume like those 0-calorie sodas. I still cut them back, and I know it's doing some fucked up stuff. Kyle, you're a bit more dialed in than I would be, but like I feel like like if you were ever trying to get to like a crazy low amount of body fat, I guess maybe people in competition. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Zero, is that what I'm looking at?
Yeah, no, just some people that are like, like I guess a week's out from a competition or something, they would cut the 0-calorie soda. But I get that Walden Farm stuff, all the 0-calorie sauces. I get my boy what's his name? G Hughes. 0-calorie barbecue sauce, great. And they're all phenomenal. They're really
Maple
good.
Farms and G Hughes and that stuff is great.
Yeah,
people don't realize how fucking insane it is to look like a lot of these guys in the movies. I was looking up Zac Efron's workout and diet and shit for Baywatch. I think it was Baywatch.
Yeah,
because he's around my size, so I'm like, all right, I can get at least half, this. And I'm looking it up, and in every interview, he's talking about how like he hated his life. He was about to pass out on set. He hadn't had a carb in like a month.
They have to say that because he's not going to be like, I took a fuck ton of Winstrol every other day. He won't say that. So instead, he has to be like,
Harley's so right.
It was so hard.
Yeah. What Harley's saying is like, so Derek does this on his channel, right? On More Plates, More Dates. He does the natty or not thing where he looks at guys like Zach. And he'll even look at what they claim to have eaten and done as their workouts, and he'll debunk it sometimes. And his point usually is because they always talk about like broccoli and rice and chicken that they've been eating. He's like, no, they're lying to you. They want to make it sound like this arduous, grueling thing that no one can do. When in reality, they just stuck to a regimen and did steroids. Like we all do here.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Chris Hemsworth, I watched him once. He was talking about one of the earlier Thor movies, the first one or second one, on a late night show. And they're like, well, you look great. What he was like, it was so hard. I was consuming 600 calories a day. I was getting so angry at people. I'm like, you don't get that huge eating 600 calories a day.
No.
That's impossible. There's no way you're like that. Like you're the protein you need. Each gram ends up being more calories than 600 in a day to grow at his size.
Like 700.
But they sit there and they say that and everyone believes it. And then sometimes
I think
maybe
the main
they sell a book or like a nutrition plan or some shit.
I think the main issue is how lean they get, though. Because even if you're on something, getting that fucking lean,
well, that's what Winstrol does. That's what I said with like Zac Efron. There are different types of things you can do that have different results for you. Like there are like a steroid that will make you like much leaner. Even if you're not a guy that's prone to being lean, it could do that. And some people like just respond really well. You know, actually like Kyle knows probably way more about this stuff than I do. But what's that? Is that Tren?
This is L-carnitine. You can inject this with I think you do need a prescription unless you go to one of those. I would never tell someone to go to like a veterinary website and get L-carnitine for animals because that's for animals. You can't put that in your body, but it's the same stuff. And it aids in fat lipolysis, which apparently is like shuttling the fat to the, I don't know, something about the mitochondria.
Hey, I heard that word. I heard that word recently, lipolysis. What is that? I heard that someone
converting fat to energy and like
people said drinking water does that, right?
I don't know. I drink a shit load of water, but I also inject 100 milliliters of this every day.
What is that?
Or 1 milliliter. 100 milliliters would be an enormous amount. 1 milliliter of this. This is the L-carnitine stuff. What's that? No, fuck that. You don't want that. You don't want to eat L-carnitine. Then your liver has to process and you get cancer like those rats.
What is that? You can just buy that?
Yeah. Well, from a veterinary website, or you could go through Derek. There's a lot of places that sell it injectable. You inject it into your ass before you work out.
Interesting.
Oh,
but I mean, when
you work out.
So I spent 9 months doing on my thing, like gaining the muscle, and then 3 months doing that weight cut, and I cut down to like 8.5% body fat, and I did that.
Crazy.
I did that with like just caffeine. This stuff, which is like super lightweight. This is like an amino acid. Don't think this isn't like a steroid or anything. This is health food shit. My TRT dose and just exercise, like just running on the treadmill or the elliptical for 30 to 45 minutes a day for 3 months and cutting my calories a little bit.
Man, I hate running.
Just cutting 2 pounds of fat a week every week for 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I lost 40 pounds. Like I lost like 20 pounds in the 2 weeks that I was with training with Sam. But like but it's also cheating because you know how fat I was? I was like 310 pounds.
Oh wow.
So like that was like me at like my heaviest. So my body's like, oh, we're walking. Okay, well, I guess let's lose 5 pounds immediately. Right away. I was just tearing it up. I was like, what should we have for dinner? Let me make nachos while I think about it. Like I was just killing it. And then I went to doing, I was trying to cut weight really fast and just not in a particularly healthy way or a guided way. I was just doing way less calories and I was putting it into the MyFitnessPlus app.
Yeah.
And it would be like, I would end the day and they would be like, this is not enough calories for your size. You have an eating disorder. You need to contact this website. We're not going to track your progress. We're not going to show you the projection.
Holy shit.
And I was just like, you don't get it. You don't get it. I have to do this right now because I have a thing.
Well,
I'm like, trust me,
download Chronometer because they have no morals. They don't give a fuck how much.
Oh, really?
Eat. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really fucked up because I was like working out for an hour at the gym and then I was doing boxing for like 2 hours. And then I'm like having like 15 to like 1,800 calories, which is like what like a model would consume for the week leading up to a photo shoot. It was super unhealthy and like wasn't smart, but I didn't have much time or options, so I just like went through with it.
Look, we talk about being unhealthy. I think it's an unhealthy lifestyle to live like that. But I don't know that a crash diet like that is going to like take years off your life or anything.
No.
When they say that's unhealthy, I think they mean, oh, your liver levels won't look quite right for 6 weeks after this. It's like, so what will that make me feel like? Oh, you'll never know the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll be 20 pounds lighter. Oh yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, that went a long way. And then I just cut a lot of weight over that time. And I did so many things like over the years. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to have carbs and whatever. I think my generation, like this 36 years old, like the 30s people, we were like, we grew up in the perfect storm of the worst information about food. Like when my parents wanted to lose weight, they had fat-free food in the house. It was fat-free. But like, it was like fat-free just meant that there was like crazy amounts of sugar.
Yeah.
But like when you looked at the back and it said fat, there was none of that. But fat didn't mean fat. We didn't know that.
No.
That, like fat made you fat. Like that's
we
not
need
how
a goddamn we need a goddamn like nutrition fucking course in high school.
Yeah,
like,
they did not.
Well, now, but
it.
like now it's part of like the zeitgeist for kids to like look it up. Gym culture is like a cool thing. They like it. When I was in high school, I was one of like 2 people that like went to the gym. And I barely knew what I was doing. I just had a brother-in-law that showed me how to do exercises. But if you don't know the gym and you've never been to the gym and you see all these fucking like high-tech machinery, you're like, what the fuck? Where do I even stand?
Yeah, you get
weightlifting.
Yeah,
we had weightlifting at my high school. Like it was an elective you could take, and you could just go lift weights for a period.
Yeah, they had that in my
and just like horticulture, it was an easy A. So I took weightlifting for. Like
I keep all my shit in a spreadsheet that hopefully it'll focus. I weigh all my food. I fucking calculate everything to the goddamn gram. That's what I had yesterday. I'm on a cut right now.
1,750 calories. That's a Woody like cut.
That is I'm 5'8", like 145 pounds right now. So I'm trying to get, I think I'll get visible abs around 140 or so.
Yeah.
I could see the top 2. So like I'm getting there.
I gotta be like 186, 187.
I'm sure you guys must still have some of the fattest listeners ever.
Oh, big time
for sure. I say like what helped me was like obviously like the threat that I was gonna get punched in the head in front of people. But what I would say to any of those people is like I used my Fitness Pal. And you don't like it asks you to pay, but you don't need to pay. There's a free one and it tracks your calories. Once you start to get a grasp of like, and listen, I'm allowed to maintain at my weight. I could have 2,900 calories in a day and not put on weight. That's a lot of food.
That's a lot.
You make the right choices. That's a fuck ton of food. So to every like fatso out there, like I know what it was like to be a big fat guy. You had 2 hamburgers. You can't have 2 hamburgers, fat.
Oh, I don't even think it's that, man.
Sometimes you need to.
Dessert after also. You can't always get dessert, fatso.
Dessert's a big one, but the vast majority of them, if you just stop alcohol and stop sugary soda, like just that,
you will drop fucking
you'll
weight.
drop so many pounds. Like you can still have dessert and 2 hamburgers if you just stop drinking soda and beer all night.
When I got as fat as I've ever fucking gotten, I was drinking like I'd say a 6-pack at least a day of like IPAs.
That's a
extra.
Oh, IPA. How many? That's like a big old sandwich each one.
It's like a burger in a bottle. Yeah,
a loaf of bread.
Yeah, you're adding a pound and a half, 2 pounds of fat every week.
I got so fat. God, I like my.
Do you? But like late night salty snacking is definitely because like you can just pop Goldfish Cheez-Its in your mouth for literally an hour straight, and you're no fuller, but you've consumed 1,200 calories.
Dude, go
and it's
with
mindless.
Go with string cheese, like high protein, 45 calories a pop. I'm about to grab one actually mid-show. But just make smart choices like that. Yeah. Just go string cheese to Cheez-Its. I love Cheez-Its.
I wanted to touch those smarter decisions. What was it that you'd said again? I wanted you to repeat it for all the fat asses listening. You make me fucking sick. Now that I'm medium fat and I'm not fat like you, I'm medium fat. You're disgusting. What was the thing you just said? It was actually it was really concise, and I think it was a good. Oh yeah, you said no sugary soda, and you said something else.
No alcohol. Alcohol is so big because here's the thing about alcohol. Alcohol is more than its the sum of its calories. Okay, alcohol leads to poor decisions. Alcohol makes you hungrier than you would have ever been.
That's true.
You drink those 6 beers and get drunk, and you're like, oh my god, like whatever your fucking shit to your snack is, pork rinds or fucking maybe it's just more beer, and you keep going. Like you're gonna eat a whole goddamn pizza or do something awful.
Yeah. And in a bad, like in your bed too. Oh, you're like in your bed doing it. But like, no sugary drinks, alcohol. And then if you also drink, how much water do you drink in a day, Kyle?
2 gallons when I'm going hard, but a gallon every day.
So if you do that and drink a gallon of water
will fill up.
You actually will automatically do. And also because we're men. Because we're men. Yes.
All right, all the ladies listening, go ahead and turn the show off.
Yeah.
This is a show for the lads.
Yeah. Go go make us a sandwich, right, boys? Get
the hell out of here, bitch.
Woo! Because we're men. It's actually way easier for us too if you cut the soda and you drank all the water. It's actually like it's not even fair. The women that are close to you in life that look better, you will be very quickly catching up to their league. It'll bother them how fast you are accelerating to be within their league. And you're going to be like, well, I must stop drinking 12 cans of Coke every day.
Yeah. Well, I replaced I started drinking Diet Dr. Pepper instead of Dr. I literally have, I just drink diet soda. And so my biggest thing, I really overdo it with the late night snackery. But I have a friend who his habit, his vice in college, was that he would go to Quick Trip twice a day, every day, and he would refill his 64-ounce Dr. Pepper from the fountain, because at Quick Trip that's like 4 cents. And so he was drinking 120. No, this guy was very, very heavy, and he drank 128 ounces of Dr. Pepper. Is that a gallon? That's a gallon. So he was regularly drinking gallons of Dr. Pepper, and he was not a big alcohol drinker. When he would eat, he wasn't like he would go overboard at nights, of course, like when he was by himself binge eating. But
he would have been
mostly he would just drink soda in front of everyone all day, and he cut that out for 1 month, and I bet he lost 40 pounds.
Dude,
it's
crazy. What made me want to lose weight actually was the fucking turning point was I was streaming on Twitch, playing something. I don't remember what it was. And I look over and, you have your streaming software up and you can see yourself kind of like how this is right now. I look over and I'm sitting there on my 3rd fucking IPA. I have an entire family sized box of bottle caps, the fucking candy, and I'm sitting there chomping on bottle caps, drinking an IPA, and I look over and my face is just like, that I got the big beard, the long Manson hair, and I'm like, I'm fucking disgusting. What am I doing? I look like fucking diabetic Manson. What am I doing? It's
not even a good candy.
It's a terrible candy.
I just wanted to fill my stomach with something that was on sale.
I bet it wasn't even a good IPA.
Yeah, I know people don't love fitness talk, but I can lay out my.
Why don't they like
broth
that?
Do you drink?
They don't like that. I thought they do like that.
I drink bone broth every day.
Jar.
No, I swear to God, they don't like that.
Sometimes they fuss, but here's what I'm trying to get out. Go to Chronometer, record your food, weigh it. You need a food scale. It's not that big a deal. Just try it. You're going to be doing this for a month or 2. You can do it forever if you want, but in a month or 2, you will learn where your calories are coming from. You will learn that things you thought were good are not good. Are almonds good for you? I used to eat fucking fistfuls of almonds like they were a healthy snack and that they were protein. Do almonds have protein? Almonds are fats.
But wait,
almonds are fats. I'm still on a rant. You can go when it's your turn.
Okay, but you're gonna move past the almond thing. I eat a handful of nuts every day as part of the diet, and that's basically my fat content for the day, and that's important.
Here's where I'm going with this.
Okay, I'm sorry.
If you're not weighing your food, then you don't know what these almonds are doing to you. You can do what I did, which is eat half a fucking bag of almonds, thinking that this is a healthy snack, and they're not. Are you downing sunflower seeds?
You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me.
I am going to.
I do want to interject one more time. You're right. You're right. Because I weigh the almonds and I have 70 grams. And guys, he's right. I've literally eaten. If you eat half a bag of almonds, nuts are the fattest, highest calorie thing that will shock you. You could do better getting chips. My bad, Woody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And weigh your food. And the process of weighing your food is not to get everything perfect. It's really about learning where your mistakes are. Do you fucked up in your head in that you think trail mix is a thing that healthy athlete hikers eat?
It's trail mix. It's concentrated energy for athletes.
This was obvious to everybody else, but I would suggest that someone out there listening is eating tater tots thinking that they're not that bad.
They're not.
Or they're eating, maybe they're not. But fucking weigh your food, put it in Chronometer, and you will learn what you're doing right and
what's
what you're doing
Chronometer?
wrong. It's like the cool kids My
Fitness Pal? What? Yeah. Bro, I'm killing My Fitness Pal. Are you telling
if you're killing My Fitness Pal, you're pretty 2017, my friend.
Am I? Oh shit! Wait, why
catch
up? Better?
That's a guy who like still uses Xbox controller on PC games, kind of talk.
Wait! Don't.
Taylor also uses Xbox.
Harley, I'm trying to get this out. So go there, weigh your food for a little month, weigh your food for a month or two, learn what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. You need to hit your protein macros. That's what he's thought. Get your caloric goals, get your protein macros. Your carbs and your fats, I think, will take care of themselves. I don't work too hard to make sure I get enough fat.
You're telling this to your audience?
I don't work too hard to get my carbs right. I make sure that my calorie and my protein is good. And then outside of that, my carbs and my fats usually land about right. It's not hard to get.
This is information for people listening.
Yeah.
You said that they don't like fitness talk, so you just fitness macro information dump them like that?
Yeah.
You don't like fitness talk, and then you yelled at them about what to eat. It's all valuable information. I totally agree with you.
I'm trying to help them in 90 seconds. Now, it took 5 minutes. Why do you think that was, Harley?
We're here for 4 hours, bro. It's okay. Okay. But I'm curious, what do you like? Yeah. I got when I first took on the last boxing match, I was 310 pounds.
Okay.
The slightest things were so good for me. When I was 310 pounds, I didn't do the macro thing. I didn't do that. And you're 100% right. And I got there after the boxing match, and now I'm 25 pounds lighter than the boxing match. I'm 60 pounds lighter. But when I was a very, very fat fuck, and I assume that the people who would benefit from everything you said, I would assume the ones that don't like the fitness talk, but still listen to everything that was useful that you said, I assume those guys, they don't need to jump in like that right away. No, wouldn't you just, what helped me was I just counted calories. I used My Fitness Pal like a fucking idiot, apparently. I just downloaded this app that you guys told me to, but I just counted calories. I found out that at 310 pounds, 2,900 calories was my maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So I just tried to hit 2,500 calories, and I was 6'6". I was 310 pounds. And when I hit 2,500 calories, I lost a lot. I got a lot of results because I was just disgusting. And if you eat more than 2,500 calories, you're getting too crazy. I hope you're celebrating something. But
this is coming from Epic Meal Time.
That shit ain't making my money anymore.
Welcome to that time.
Because everything what you're saying, but what you say, everything you said is what I do now. But I just got to that, like literally, like I messaged Kyle off the podcast. Like I hit him up. I was like, yo, look what I'm going to start doing. I started to do the macro stuff, but that was like a lot. When I was very fat, I was just like the idea of hitting 200 and however many grams of protein per day was like really taxing. So I was just saying to some of the fat people out there, I didn't mean to interrupt you a million times because everything you said was useful. I'm just saying for the really fat people out there, maybe they would just count calories, right? Do you have tips for that?
Yeah. If you're fatty, then it's calories in, calories out.
Let me reply to that. He was talking. I like what you said. Really, the point of Chronometer or My Fitness Pal, if you're from 5 years ago, was to educate yourself. That's what you're getting out of it. You don't even have to change your diet in the first week. Just weigh it and know what you're doing. Know where your weak points are. And I bet you'll be like, yeah, this is my chronic go-to that's making me. I hydrate with Snapple.
For y'all young folks out there, there was a program on the Learning Channel, TLC, called Operation. You know what it was? It was 45-minute human operation procedures. I saw them give somebody a cornea transplant, and I definitely saw someone get their
appendix removed.
Spacing. No, when you get neutered as a not neutered, but fixed as a man.
Vasectomy.
Thank you. I couldn't think of that word.
I was like, you watched a man be castrated on the Learning Channel?
I couldn't get all circumcised.
It made him a eunuch.
It's like that Arab seems pretty Taliban, or that doctor seems pretty Taliban. Damn it,
Doctor la 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 la. No, just had the operations there. And I remember sitting with my mother at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. at night, watching them stitch some lady's fucking cervix up or something, right? It was crazy.
Yeah. Did you ever see the breast implant ones where you could almost the nipple and like most of the good boob area was blurred out, but like seeing that as like a 13-year-old on TLC was like,
hey dude, check out Channel 5. There's a breast exam on.
Yeah. There was this one. There was this
Taylor
one show.
that movie. I bet he doesn't.
I don't know.
You don't get that reference. You piece of shit. Woody gets the reference.
It was a good reference, Taylor.
You are when Woody has the reference and gets the fucking friendly chuckle for me, and you're left in the cold. Go watch Office Space. Go watch it.
Oh, I've seen Office Space. I must have just missed the joke.
You need better recall.
You need better recall.
I'm gonna need you to get some Adderall. All right, I'm all drugged up over here, and I'm getting these references.
You're just snap. Dude, I'm gonna get on Adderall. I'm gonna get thin.
How's your diet going, Taylor? I know that you've been on it for a couple months now.
Yeah, I've been doing good. I like pretty much as I have like a couple beers right now, but these are 99 calories, so it's not a big deal. Like I've been doing pretty great, honestly. Like I'm still losing weight in like a slow, sustainable way.
You haven't shared numbers yet. You choose not to.
I'm going by clothes. I want to get to where I fit into my thinnest clothes, and then I'm going to weigh myself. So I'm not 100% sure how much I weigh exactly.
You don't want to know your numbers.
I have gone through 2 shifts of clothes, and so
I'm not saying you're not losing weight. No. I was just saying like psychology is interesting.
Yeah, like it.
The methodology is interesting.
The methodology is interesting, I suppose. You're right. Like I like that feeling of just like I put on a pair of jeans just a couple weeks ago, just out of nowhere, being like, I remember these looked kind of good on me back in the day. Put them on, fit like a dream, and I was like this is one of those things. Like,
fuck yeah,
hell yeah!
I'm gonna start wearing belts again.
I'm gonna start. Well, that's like crazy.
I'm gonna tuck my shirt in.
No, I look like a fat idiot with my shirt tucked in because I have very broad shoulders, but I have also I have birthing hips.
Yeah,
I could definitely, Woody and I could push out a couple of babies with our hips, and like Kyle's got narrow hips, so he doesn't know the struggle that we go through.
But I feel like my hips are narrow, but like right above it, like that bone, like the one that like supports the Adonis lines on the front, like whatever that shit is, those hip bones, like I feel like mine stick way out.
Kyle, when you were really lean, like what is it, 2 years ago, 18 months ago?
Yeah.
What size pants did you wear? 26?
Oh.
8?
No, like 28, 29, something like that. Yeah.
I don't think there's...
I'm like 33 right now.
I'm 34 right now, and I don't think I can get much thinner. Like I can get thinner, but it wouldn't change my pant size. Like
no. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, like
maybe
I don't think you could get more. You could get thinner, and it would be an aesthetic advantage because
I could do a little
like the fat that you're losing it when you're going from like I would say you're probably below. You're definitely below 16%. You're probably below 15. You might be below 14. Somewhere around 14 to 15, I would guess.
You might be judging me from December. I ate restaurant food for a month, Kyle.
It's more likely that you had a lot of sodium and you're carrying some water than anything. I bet if you did like a water fast, like you'd be surprised how good you'd look overnight. But I think that I don't know if it's a good look to get down to 10% body fat for most people. Like you're so goddamn veiny and you look kind of gaunt. Like and you feel a little that like that too. It's like I don't know, your body's kind of running on fumes all the time. So so it kind of feels like if you ever were to be without food for an extended point, like you're not set up for that anymore. Like when you're down to 10% body fat or whatever I was, whatever I said is what it was, whatever the paper said, 8.5%, 9.5%, something like that. I couldn't go a week without food. I don't think I might have died. You might have died. Because like Richard,
your body would just be like, we're out of electrolytes. Like
season 1 survivor, Richard Hatch shows up, chubby as fuck, a good 30, 40 pounds overweight. He won the shit because he could handle it. That 30 or 40 pounds was 120,000 extra calories he was carrying around. He had it like a camel. Everybody else showed up with 6-packs, rocking like veins in their biceps. They didn't have reserves.
Yeah. That is like the smartest tactical move of a reality show person ever, I think, because he was
just a fat guy.
Oh, I thought that he like
put on weight before.
I thought he literally gained weight beforehand. Maybe that was
people
like
have on these shows, but I don't think people have on these shows. I don't think Richard's in that category.
Okay. But he was season 1. So like if he had done that, he would have been the
next level brain.
He went to prison for tax evasion. He didn't pay taxes on that $1 million.
One of my favorite actors of all time. I fucking love Jonah Hill.
Now, Jonah Hill is definitely an exception because he did not just stick with comedy like everybody expected him to, and he actually branched out and really kicked ass.
Him and Moneyball is awesome.
Oh, he's come on.
He's fatter than any of us, and that's saying something because
he's lost a lot of weight recently, though. He's sick of people calling him fat, apparently.
Yeah, well, then
he's been very offended.
I'm sick of people calling me fat, but I'm not willing to pull the trigger on not eating a pound of salami. I did last night.
It was delicious.
Literally, no, this was 2 nights ago. I had a big pound pack of salami, like hard salami, in my fridge, and I didn't have any cheese or crackers to eat it with, but I wanted to eat it late at night when I was high watching something, and so I ate a whole pound of salami, and my compliment to it was the rest of the cheese in that calendar that my wife gave me. It was like a daily cheese calendar for December. I wolfed through fucking 12 days.
This is like an alcoholic describing how they found an old bottle in an alley.
It is the most hilarious story. He got an advent calendar for Christmas.
Yes.
And it has cheese a day. And like the first or second day, he ate half a month worth of cheese and told his wife to get another calendar.
I did. I think I ate. I ate 16.
How many calendars? How many calendars have you eaten now?
Okay, well, I don't.
He's in the middle of 2063.
I don't even think this is a fair line of questioning. I ate about 16, 17 days on my first cheese binge, and then 2 nights ago, I ate the remaining 12 or 13 days with. Not even the kind of salami you're supposed to eat in a charcuterie board. I was just peeling off slices from a pile and eating it. It was good. I enjoyed myself.
That's sandwich meat.
Enjoying yourself is the important part.
It wasn't like out of a package. I got it like from the butcher section, the good salami section.
Oh, well, that makes it
a little more thick cut, a little nice. You know what I mean?
Pinky up while you.
Yes.
Ooh, ritzy.
Ooh, pinky's
good
up
salami.
for heart failure at 51.
I need to weigh in again. I think I might. I'm pretty good right now.
You're usually very adamant about your diet when you do get in. Like you go, both legs all in when you.
Yeah, I have numbers for people curious. I think my fattest ever. This is about a year ago, was like either 222 or 224. It's one of those. And then I got all the way down to 193, which is 29 pounds, maybe something like that.
A lot.
And then through I wasn't able to work out and get into it as much as I wanted to because I had that trip around the country where I ate restaurant food for a month. And you break your finger, you fucking break your wrist and whatever. It's hard to work out. But now I'm back down to 196, so I'm 3 pounds off my low. I said that right. So anyway, I think I might be 195 now. I have to weigh in.
Nice.
I ate an entire box of Cheez-Its.
I want to be
nice.
200. I want to be 250 pounds by July.
Hey, Kyle. Kyle, I'll race you.
250.
For some, I don't know if that's fair.
No, it's not. I'm going to dominate that race. You can't compete. You couldn't stomach the amount of fatty meats that I can handle.
I feel like that's like me and you racing to the St. Louis Arch.
I don't know what I'd pick if you were to offer me more muscle or less fat. I think I might choose less fat.
More muscle every time for me.
More muscle every time. Fat's easy to get rid of.
Fat's easier to get rid of than muscle is to gain.
The fat wants to leave. The muscle hates jumping on board. You're like, hey, fat, would you like to leave? It's like, as long as you don't feed me, I'm out of here.
I feel like if you took my shirt off, would I look better with more muscle or less fat? I think less fat.
It's more muscle.
No, you look better with more muscle because you're already very slim. Yeah. Like you've got visible abs, like some more muscle bulked on there. Slim is a good thing. I wish I was slim. Dude, the pants I fit in now are hilarious. I hold them up before I put them on, and I'm like, this is beyond the pale. Get yourself under control.
I don't have any pants that fit right now. So here's two parts of it. One, the pants that were for like skinny me are fatter than the pants that like they're still too fat. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, when I buy new pants, I don't want to commit to this weight. I might not always be this weight. I don't want to buy pants this thin because then there'll be pants that don't fit. So I buy pants for a fatter version of me, even now. Pants are
I've said before, if someone broke into my closet and like was looking to steal clothes, they would think four different men lived here. Yeah.
When I take my
size
pants
difference
off
in my
at the end of the night, I don't unbutton them or anything. Just pull them off.
Just fall off.
I might be undo the belt. Just take my pants off.
I talked to our boy Derek yesterday, the day before, something like that. Congrats to him on being on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Big up. Talk about that.
Very, very fucking cool. If you guys missed the episode, go check it out and drop some love in the comments over there for Derek.
Did you hear it all? Be honest. Did you listen to it?
I haven't listened.
No, I listened to the whole thing because I had that long drive, so it was easy. It was pretty cool. I would say about half of it, they dove deep into his knowledge of pharmaceuticals, some USADA testing, John Jones, stuff like that. And then they kind of freestyled and talked about like girls and his CPAP machine and just, I don't know, the life of being a meathead, something they had in common. Their take on women was pretty interesting. So they were talking about what guys appreciate in women. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. And I think that when Joe Rogan and Derek talk about what men like in women, they're talking about what successful men look for in women. Because one thing they said was like, man, this woman could be like finish grad school. She could be a successful attorney and she could be hot as fuck. And they're like, yeah, it's really about that second part. That's what I'm looking for in a girl.
Yeah,
he's like, the first part, that's almost a negative. I want to know how much is she there to support me? How much is she there to like build up my show? Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's interesting. But Derek and Joe Rogan are both doing really well business wise, and that maybe impacts what they look for in a girl. They're looking for a hottie support system, and not so much a fellow breadwinner. Anyway, dude, check out the podcast. I was
interesting
into it from beginning to end.
Yeah, Derek's a very entertaining guy. I need to listen to that whole show.
And I'm sorry I cut you off, Kyle. He's partnered with Joe Rogan, whom I consider a professional communicator, and it was like in my opinion, like the best version of Derek that is there.
They went together like peas and carrots.
Yeah, so I liked it.
Yeah, I like Derek a lot.
I listened to maybe 15 or 20 minutes ago, 20 minutes of it, and then saved it on my phone. I told him congrats, and he mentioned he was going to do another podcast with Bulzarian. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I think he's traveling around doing a couple little things right now.
I didn't even know that guy was still around.
Oh yeah, of course.
I thought he'd kind of like retired to be rich and do.
He was already retired to be rich and do whatever he wants. That's what's entertaining about his show.
Okay, that's fair.
We should get Derek back on.
Yeah, we got to get him back on.
I'd like to have him back on.
Yeah, I think he's traveling right now because it was going to be a minute before he can get back to me on my new whole protocol and regimen. But I'm looking forward to it. Like, I'm ready to fucking go.
I think that it's hard to leave Canada, so maybe he did that and needs to get everything done at once.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
There's something about that on the Rogan show.
Yeah, I watched part of the pilot, and then I
love his workout program.
Well, I thought the workout program was the funniest part. I enjoyed where he's like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, run 10 miles,
5 kilometers a day,
no air conditioning or whatever.
Yeah, just someone they keep asking him like, dude, because he's in a world where superheroes exist, and they have this very specific ranking system for them, and there are like Superman level characters in here, and then there's him. And he's so overpowered that like no one can even comprehend it. But occasionally someone will. They'll actually see him do something. They'll see him like lift a planet or like punch a building down, or like, or just take out the biggest, baddest monster like with a thump. And they're just like, dude, just tell me, please tell me your secret. He's like, all right, I'll tell you, but it's hard, and you're not gonna want to do it. I'll do anything. I'll sell my soul. I'll murder my family. I'll eat babies all day and all night. All right, I'll tell you. I do 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups a day, and I run 5 kilometers a day. And no air conditioning in the summer and no heat in the winter. And they're like, that's not even a very strenuous physical workout program. That's like medium level. Like you know, that's what like every college athlete would laugh at that. Like any real athlete would laugh at that. See, all of us could do that. Like it's nonsense.
Like, Kyle, what I do like, I'll give this show a chance. I'll give it. I was more shitting on it because I can tell you guys liked it. But
what's fun and what would be a cool YouTube series, and I've seen it done before, is people who go on that program and do a 30-day before and after. And it's very effective at like trimming somebody down, because running 5K a day is the hard part.
That's the part that would break me down. I feel like if I did 100 push-ups and sit-ups every day, at the end of the 30 days, I'd be better at it. But I ran a mile a day for a month, and parts of me got better at it, but parts of me just like degraded. Like,
can I do it on an elliptical to keep my knees safe?
That was the part that degraded. I have one bone in particular with like plates and screws in it, and I don't feel it all the time. But when I pounded on it every day, I'm like, yeah, I'm very aware of my tibia or fibia. It's one of those.
Yeah, I got my dad on the elliptical. He's lost 37 pounds, I think.
Nice, and, that's huge.
And he's looking to lose, I think, 20 more. And the pandemic was just, he's like, I just didn't do anything. I just gained too much weight. So he's been losing weight, and I got him on the ellipticals. I think he's starting like today with the elliptical part of things.
I have a theory.
Oh, I almost forgot. He told me a great date story the other day. Go ahead. I think you had a thing.
It was real quick. On the pandemic weight gain, I think it's partly not doing anything, but mostly living next to the pantry. People are just indoors more.
Like there's no one to judge you.
Oh, that could be too. That could be me. But for me, like if I spend all my time in the living room, which is just next to our pantry, that's a recipe for gaining weight.
Yeah. So we were talking about Tinder and Bumble and all the various dating sites the other day, and he's like, I matched with this lady the other day, and you know how it is. She had those pictures that were from the shoulder up. And I don't know how many times I'm gonna bite that hook and get reeled in, but
did you encounter this girl in real life? Yeah.
So we go and we meet, and she gets out of her car and she slides into mine, and I look, and Kyle, have you ever seen Hellboy? And I'm like, yeah, I've seen Hellboy. He's like, you know how he's got that one arm that's just enormous? And then, I mean, he's a big man all the way around, but the one arm is just cartoonishly big. Yeah. He's like, well, this woman had a Hellboy arm. One of her arms was so like swollen with fat that it just ballooned down to the wrist. And when the wrist met the arm, it looked like you wrapped a rubber band around it 3 times over, and there was a crease, and the hand was inflated like you'd blown up a rubber glove, and the arm looked like if you poked it with a needle, it would pop.
Was the other arm normal, though?
The other arm was normal, though.
How bizarre.
Like, as normal as a big fat woman's arm can be, that is. But then she had that big Hellboy arm that she just slapped on my center console, and I was trying to stay away from it.
Now, jack me off with the other hand.
He's like, I was like, well, what kind of date had you planned? He's like, well, we were just going to, we never met before, so we were just going to run some errands.
Dicker.
Like they were going to run some errands and then go get some dinner and then go from there. So he was like, well, like I was like, hey, I'm going to go to Home Depot this afternoon. That it's near where you live. You could accompany me there. I'm buying flowers for my garden. We could go back to my house. We could plant some flowers and do a little gardening, and then we'll have some dinner. That was kind of the evening's plan. He's like, Kyle, she got out of my truck. and she could barely walk. She was shuffling. She was shuffling into the Home Depot. And he's like, I took about 5 steps, and I said, you know what? I changed my mind. I don't think I want those flowers after all. Let's just go get something to eat. He's like, so I took her to Arby's. I got her.
You couldn't even take her to a good fast food place?
No, I'm going to go the other direction. Arby's, this is a Golden Corral woman. This is a buffet chick he has here. He didn't recognize what he had.
Sit down if you take her to Golden Corral. She can eat while you drive her back to your car if you take her to Arby's.
I'm just trying. I'm a people pleaser, Kyle.
No, I put the pieces together. It's just like, I would feel so bad. Like, so, because she knows the score. She knows what's up.
She knows her way around a Golden Corral all-you-can-eat buffet.
Well,
but
all
also,
I know is
she posted the misleading photos that entrapped him in that scenario. So for that reason, I decree that he is blameless.
Well, he got her a big beef and cheddar, took her back to her car, and he called it a day. And Woody has linked a picture here of what Hellboy arm syndrome looks like. That's the medical name for it.
Wait, Woody, what is this called?
It's called Hellboy arm syndrome.
She has lymphedema. I instantly knew what she had when Kyle described the symptom.
Yeah, that's what Boogie had in his leg.
But Boogie was symmetrical with his lymphedema, I think.
Yeah, he had it.
He had it everywhere.
Yes, or at least both legs.
He was eat up with it.
She had.
That's a Southern way of saying you got it everywhere.
How does this? Oh, I know. How does this happen to a thin person? I don't get it.
Oh, she was not a thin person.
No, this inflicts mostly fat people. There are some people online that don't look super fat.
This graphic is misleading because that looks like a normal thin.
This is drawn. This is
Hey, look, do you not watch My 600-Pound Life every day? Is that?
I watch it intermittently, and it's great. I also enjoy the show 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Yes,
because it's actually a conservative estimate of their weight. If they were being accurate, it'd be like the 1,300-pound sisters. And the one that weighs 800 pounds is so jealous of that svelte 551 that it's hilarious, where she's like, and Christy, ever since we were kids, she was always the one getting attention from the boys, and I never liked that. And it's like, that's the one who's so overweight that there is a shelf on her forehead that has come out.
That's the Neanderthal.
It's the Neanderthal forehead, but it's not stiff bone. It's fat. It's like you could press into it and you could write your name in cursive on her forehead and it would stick for a few seconds.
Sometimes people get this who are thin. It can be a side effect of cancer treatment, and it damages their lymphatic system, so they don't drain properly. So I guess some people are unfairly stricken with this, and some get it as a punishment for eating too much.
Yeah, God sends it as a malady for one of the 7 deadly sins, gluttony.
That sounds sciencey.
Yeah, it sounds like it sounds sciencey because I invoked God, right?
Kyle, does your dad have a plan now for if a woman gets out of her car and the shocks like sigh or say hallelujah? Does he just pedal it? Like, don't turn the engine
nicer
off.
Than me. I'll burn rubber.
I just remembered I'm gay.
He needs a car with like Dodge trucks. You can get the air suspension. How fucking funny would it be if he pumped it up when she said it? You hear the air compressor kick on.
Come on, climb up in. What, you can't make it? What's the problem?
I'm out of here.
I left my stepladder at home.
I like your way more. Mine was as a reaction to her making the suspension sag.